Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Kyle Downey, and this is the Sports Download, the show where a Los Angeles native talks sports from a fan's perspective. I might not be unbiased, but I keep it honest and real with you. So the Celtics lost in Game 7. So excited for that, so happy for that. Could dance, because they lost. I was really happy. I was rooting for them to lose because I'm a huge Lakers fan. But yeah, I mean, they took it to a Game 7. Credit to them for doing that, but they fell at the end, and it just seemed like when they couldn't hit the threes, that they were taking, they just didn't know what to do. And I don't understand why teams are playing like this, where yes, you want to shoot the three because it's an efficient shot. Three is worth more than two. But if they're not going in, it's not your night. Get something closer to the basket, get a layup, get a dunk, get a mid-range shot to somebody who can make it, or at the very least take it to the basket, try to get a foul. I saw that with the Lakers. I saw it with multiple teams doing that, and it's really confusing. Really confusing that they get confused when they can't hit shots. It's puzzling, man. It's puzzling. I don't understand. I mean, credit to them for again taking it to a Game 7, but yeah, Miami just whooped them. Yeah, they were hitting their shots. Miami was, but they also have guys that they'll take it in to the basket. They'll run pick and roll and get an easier look. They got Jimmy Butler can hit mid-range shots, and they just seem to want it more. Honestly, with the Celtics, they were the better team, but they didn't play like it. And when they're not making the shots, they're not winning, and that's bad. I'm reminded of Game 7 against the Celtics when it was Kobe's Lakers versus the Boston Celtics in Game 7. And Kobe was nervous, and the moment seemed pretty big for him, but he still tried to win in other ways. He got like 16 rebounds in that Game 7. His shot wasn't going, but he still fought to try to win. And you got to fight. You got to fight and scratch and claw, whatever you got to do, multiple ways to try to win the ball game. If your shot's not falling, you got to figure something out. And it didn't seem like the Celtics had that fight in them, because obviously they lost 3 straight games, and nobody's ever come back from that, and they weren't able to. And Miami just wanted it more. They might not have been as talented, but they wanted it more. Eric Spoelstra's a hell of a coach, and he game planned and strategized for the better in victory, obviously. And they just have dudes with heart down there. Jimmy Butler's the head of the snake down there, and there's got dudes with heart. You gotta play like you want it, and if you don't, then you find out, mess around, get your ass kicked. So happy trails, enjoy Cancun. Jason Tatum, consider being a Laker. I know you're a free agent in a couple seasons. Consider that. Maybe think about asking for a trade. Jaylen Brown might ask for a trade. He was not happy about being included in rumors about Kevin Durant, and he felt like the organization was not being honest with him. And that's a tricky situation because you want to be honest with your employee, but at the same time you don't want to lose team morale. You don't want to lose morale from your employees. So it's a tricky situation, but yeah, Jaylen Brown, I think, does not want to be there anymore in Boston. And he basically said he's not sure how he feels about them mid-season when that report came out. I think he did an interview. And so they got a lot of questions facing them. Does Jaylen Brown ask for a trade? Do they keep Mazzulla as the head coach? Do they get him an assistant to help him out? There's a lot going on there. But Miami's moving on now after winning Game 7. They're only going to have a couple days off, and they're going to start playing in Denver. The final start Thursday, June 1st, this Thursday. So, and that's going to be tough. They're going to have to. They just flew there. They probably landed today, and they're gonna have to get acclimated to the elevation there. And Denver's gonna be a tough team. They're gonna have more size than Boston did, and they have a lot of shooters. And be interesting what they do to guard Jokic. They might put Kevin Love on Jokic. They might put Jimmy Butler maybe on Jokic and have Bam come in as a help defense, kind of like what the Lakers did with having Rui or LeBron on Jokic and having AD come and help. But Denver's tough, and I'm pretty sure Denver's going to be favored. I haven't seen the line yet, but I'm pretty sure they'll be favored because they've just been a beast. But I'm gonna root for the Heat because I really like Jimmy Butler. I really like him. Denver's got a lot of cool guys, but for me personally, when my team gets beat, I don't like to see the people that beat my team win. But I mean, it is kind of nice at the end of the season though. If the team that my team lost to wins the championship, it is kind of nice. Well, at least they were the champion. But at the same time, I really like Jimmy Butler, and that team's got some like absolute dudes, absolute dogs with hearts, with big hearts, and they play above their expectation, which is you love to see. Like Caleb Martin, shout out to him for getting 26 points and having a great Eastern Conference Finals. 26 points in the Game 7. They just had so many guys step up for them when they had guys that are hurt. They have Tyler Hero who's hurt, and just really huge accomplishment. But Denver's been sitting there with like a week off, so they got the rest advantage, and it's gonna be a fun series. I'm gonna check it out. We have the Heat Nuggets series, as somebody mentioned on Twitter. It's the microwave series. It won't do as big of ratings as Lakers Celtics would do, but it's still gonna be some really good basketball and some different styles going at each other. Definitely for sure. But I wouldn't root against Spoelstra. I mean, I wouldn't count him out. I wouldn't count out Spoelstra. I wouldn't count out Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and them dudes, Gabe Vincent, and Caleb Martin. And if Tyler Hero comes back, even better for them. Duncan Robinson, I said before that his contract is kind of it was kind of way overpaid because he's not that much of a defender, but he's been looking like a better shooter now. He's coming around, so he's been playing well. So, but Denver's going to be a tough matchup for them, as we saw against the Lakers. So it'll be fun to see. It'll be interesting to see. And in other news in the NBA, Golden State Warriors GM Bob Myers has stepped down and said it's time. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN came out with this article, and he says that it's time, and there's been several factors beyond money why he left, why he decides to leave. It says, with Myers' departure, Warriors owner Joe Lacob is expected to seek more prominent roles for his son Kirk, and executive vice president of basketball operations, VP of basketball operations, Mike Dunleavy Jr. That is concerning for Warriors fans extremely. If they're not looking for someone else to kind of take over, I'd be concerned, because from what I've heard from different media people is that Kirk Lacob is not really experienced, and nothing against him or Mike Dunleavy Jr., but big shoes to fill. Bob Myers has been there the whole time throughout this dynasty, and with him leaving, leaves a lot of questions, because Joe Lacob, the owner of the Warriors, was trying to operate with this two timeline approach, to where they're trying to win now with Steph and Clay and Draymond, but at the same time trying to bring along these young guys with Jordan Poole and Kuminga and Moody and James Wiseman. They traded James Wiseman. He didn't pan out. Moses Moody wasn't playing much until maybe he played a little bit with the Lakers against the Lakers in that second round series. Kuminga can't seem to get on the court in the playoffs, and Jordan Poole, who they paid a lot, and his contract's going to kick in. I think it's about $30 million next season. Jordan Poole played well last playoffs, and they won a championship, but this year he fell off a cliff like he couldn't shoot, and that is extremely concerning. And they have some decisions to make. If they want to entrust Kirk Lacob, I'm not sure if that's the right route. Plus, you can't serve two timelines. It's just not the right approach when you have Steph, who's 34, 35, but still an incredible basketball player and can still do amazing things. And he might still be in his prime, and also he's a below the rim type player. He can still shoot extraordinarily, and he can still play at an extremely high level. He's still one of the best players in the league. He wants to win a championship. He wants to win. He doesn't, like LeBron, he's not playing for second round, or he's not playing for none of that. And if that's not what they're trying to do, is solely focus on his championship window, then maybe we see him leave. I know Draymond said he wanted to stay with Steph and Clay. There's a lot of questions now with the Warriors from the outside. And yeah, it's when the offseason hits, once a team loses, there's all kinds of questions, and this is the silly time and all that stuff. But when your GM steps down, that's a huge deal, and especially for the Warriors that have been so successful throughout this run. And he has been kind of the architect of that, and kind of the shepherd throughout with that all these rosters that they've had that have won championships, 4 titles in 8 years. It's really a pivotal moment for their franchise. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think I previously discussed Mike Winger left the Clippers to go be the GM for the Wizards, NBA purgatory, because they never do anything besides go make the playoffs or not. They're like mediocre. So the Clippers GM spot is open. Does Bob Myers take that job? I don't know. We'll have to see. Or does he just take some time off? 12 years. It's a really taxing job to be a general manager. So just huge news for the Warriors. Big news for the NBA as well, as we're seeing these big roles and job opportunities are opening up. We also saw Nick Nurse get hired by the 76ers. I think that's a phenomenal hire. He's a great coach. He built himself a hell of a career already, going from the G League to winning a championship with Kawhi Leonard in 2019 for the Raptors. I really like Nick Nurse, so congratulations to him on getting another job. But we'll see what happens with them, because we'll see what happens with the Sixers, because there's been rumors about James Harden going to the Rockets. I don't know if he does that, but if he does, then it becomes a different kind of job. If he leaves, and I've said before, if James Harden leaves, when is Embiid going to start looking around and be like, yo, man, if we ain't trying to win? Because, I mean, that's where we're at now in this player empowerment era, and I don't blame guys. Everybody's judged by winning a ring. If you're a great player, you win a ring. So I don't blame people if they don't want to stay where they're at, because, I mean, obviously as a fan of a team, you want your guy to stay, but that's where you need organizations to do their part to build a winning culture, a winning team around your star player. Otherwise, they'll look to go elsewhere, just like everyone else in their respective careers looks for the most lucrative and successful and best opportunity for them in their lives. So that's really interesting. This is a silly season. This is rumor season. There's all kinds of stuff happening, and also the Bucks, who fired Nurse, they hired his coworker, his assistant coach, Adrian Griffin, who's a longtime assistant. He had a 12-year NBA career, He was a longtime assistant. He won that championship with Nick Nurse, and so he was hired by the Bucks, which was interesting. Nothing against him. I think he's a longtime assistant, but I was expecting them to hire somebody like Monty Williams maybe, who's taken the team to the finals, or somebody who's had more success with that. But hopefully for Giannis and for the Bucks and the Bucks fans, that ends up being good for them. I think that also, I think that a lot of this depends on health. Giannis got injured towards the end. Keeping these guys healthy over an 82 game season, excuse me, over an 82 game season is the priority, not only in the 82 game season, but can you keep them healthy for the 16 games or so in the playoffs, and sometimes more when the series run long. That's really important. That's why you guys see a lot of guys load managing and things like that, because that is what you want. Is you want your guys to be healthy when it comes to winning time, when it comes to winning a championship. That's what you want, and that's really important. I mean, the Heat beat the Bucks, and I don't know if the Bucks took them seriously because Giannis sat out a game that some people were saying that he could have played in the first round, but they lost in the first round. So I understand why they fired Budenholzer, and but you got to keep your guys healthy, and Giannis is their dude. He's their superstar. So when your superstar goes down, it gets really scary. And if your superstar goes down, you're not really gonna have a chance unless you have Herculean efforts from everybody else. That's just how it is. They have to keep them healthy, and that's some of these medical staffs need to improve or figure something out. Maybe it's managing minutes during the season, or whatever the case may be. But it also comes down to luck. It comes down to preparation, skill, nutrition, how your exercise regimen, all that stuff, and it also comes down to luck. That's you try to do everything possible you can, but sometimes you need the luck to help you out too. And unfortunately, injury bugs and unlucky injuries happen. And as a Lakers fan, I've seen that. We've seen that with Anthony Davis. We've seen that with LeBron. I mean, Anthony Davis and LeBron have been hurt the last few years, and they were hurt this year, and we'll find out later on if I don't know if we'll hear if LeBron got surgery. Hopefully he doesn't have to. If he does, I've heard that he'll, so long as he's not really retiring. I don't believe he's retiring, but it's possible, but I don't think he is. But as long as he comes back, he might need surgery. He might not. We'll have to see what happens there. But if he does have surgery, he'll be ready for training camp. And if Anthony Davis needs surgery, hopefully he'll be ready for training camp too. And the Lakers summer is going to be an interesting one, as I've mentioned. Dave McMenamin came out with an article saying that the Lakers had three options to either run back the whole roster, shake it up, or split the difference. And to me, I would like to split the difference option. I think running back, bring everybody back as possible. If you could pursue some trades in the off season, in the summer, do that, because there's some guys that you could probably upgrade. Respectfully, you could probably upgrade. So, I really like D'Angelo Russell, but he wasn't hitting shots in the key moments, and I've heard that in the playoffs he hasn't always been a playoff performer. So maybe look to see an upgrade there. Maybe Austin Reeves can be the primary point guard. But I like Fred VanVleet. If Fred VanVleet of Toronto, he's a free agent. If that would be possible, I'd like him instead of D'Angelo Russell. But definitely got to bring back everybody at first. to have that salary spot. You got to bring back. Definitely keep Vando. Definitely keep D'Angelo Russell for the salary, Malik Beasley for the salary, Mo Bamba for the salary. But you might have to trade like D'Angelo, Malik, and Mo Bamba. And I'll keep following those. I'll keep following those storylines as we get deeper into the offseason. You also have the NBA draft coming up soon next month in June. It's in a few weeks. We'll see if the Lakers make any draft night trades, or if we draft our picks at 17 and 47. We'll be following that. But yeah, I would say let's not shake it up all crazy because we got a lot of great players. Definitely got to bring back Austin Reeves, keep him. Definitely got to bring back Rui, keep him. They played really great. And just maybe make some tweaks if possible. And again, health is very important. Got to keep LeBron and AD healthy. And speaking of health, the other LA team, the baseball team, the Dodgers, has been struggling with some injuries, and because of it, we're waiting for still Julio Urias to come back from injury. Dustin May is still hurt, but Bobby Miller has come up as a pitcher. He's come up. The pitcher Bobby Miller has come up and kind of made his debut a little early, but he has come out and already got 2 wins. He looks stellar in his first outing, his debut, and looked pretty good. Honestly, yesterday they won 6-1, and he only gave up 1 run, pitched 6 innings, which is pretty much all you need, and that's great. We're gonna need that. We're going to need that when it comes to the struggles that we've had with our bullpen. Hopefully that will look better, and we're going to start following them. We're going to start following them more closely as the NBA season winds down. We're going to talk some Dodgers, talk some baseball. But Bobby Miller has been looking really great. Love to see that. And love to see that Trace Thompson, Michael Thompson's son, had a great night the other night and was getting some hits, and they just been performing well. They're in first place. You got JD Martinez who came in, and he's just been very dependable and been very calm at the plate. James Outman, the rookie stud, has kind of hit a rookie wall a little bit. Pitchers are kind of starting to figure him out. Hopefully he can shake that off. Hopefully it's just a rookie wall and he can run through it and clean up his at bats. He's kind of been looking a little lost at the plate, so hopefully he can start to figure things out. And we have a great coaching staff with the Dodgers, so hopefully he can figure all that out. And yeah, so we're going to be following all that. I'll be back to talk some NBA Finals either before or after Game 1, and we'll be talking about Dodgers and all kinds of sports, NFL. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Sports Download. Really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Shoot me some comments. Whatever y'all want to talk about, let me know. Peace and God bless. Much love.